Online learning is a struggle for families nationwide. It's a struggle for educators, too. But that struggle is a little bit easier when you actually have the resources for it. In California, one school district where the majority of the students live below the poverty line is seeing an alarming drop in virtual attendance. CNN's Bianca Ladriga joins us now with more. And this is what a lot of districts were concerned about, Bianca.
And Erica, this is an issue I've been focusing on since the spring. Data suggests that only 60% of low-income students are actually logging on to classes as opposed to 90% of higher-income students. And CNN spent some time with one low-income school district in California as officials there are struggling to find some of those missing students.
We're from the school.
On any given week since the start of the pandemic, Lori Butler-Enchandia and Elisa Olmo set out together on a mission.
The goal of what we're doing today is student engagement.
They work for the Robla, California School District in Sacramento. Like many California school districts, Robla's more than 2,000 students, ranging from preschool to 6th grade, began the year learning virtually. Since the start of the school year, as many as 200 or more haven't logged in, according to school officials.
The circumstances that our families face, unfortunately, are very much characterized by poverty.
90% of Robla's students live under the federal poverty level. According to Superintendent Ruben Reyes, 20% do not have permanent housing.
I think the first challenge for us was making sure that when we were up and running with the program that our children had devices at home. We did have families who did not have internet. They did not have Wi-Fi in their home or in their apartment. And unfortunately, we also serve a pretty large homeless population.
School administrators are alerted when a student doesn't check in with their teacher for 3 consecutive days or more.
There's been some very interesting stories, families who were just gone. The instability of poverty is a big part of this. So they were there and now they're not.
CNN recently had a chance to accompany Lori and Elisa as they set out to find 3 students. We were warned not to get our hopes up.
I think the most challenging is when our families aren't there. That's the hardest, which happens quite a bit.
With more than half of the nation's largest school districts offering only virtual instruction, teachers, superintendents, and social workers are facing similar crises. Chicago's public schools have had the largest drop in enrollment in decades this fall, by 15,000 students. Dallas has reported a 7% decline. And Metro Nashville Public Schools in Tennessee saw enrollment decline by more than 4,200 students. Middle and upper income districts are also reporting some declines in online participation. The biggest declines in attendance, however, tend to be in lower income districts like Robla.
We have some families that are just, that they are having a difficult time with life in general right now. They're, losing their jobs, they're maybe losing their house, and so school gets put on the back burner. It's no longer a priority.
Studies show that students who miss 10% or more of school days a year are at greater risks of dropping out in later grades, which is why locating those students is so critical. Out of the 3 Lori and Elisa set out to find, they successfully spoke to just one parent, a single father who says his 11-year-old daughter has missed classes because he's had difficulty logging her in. Lori and Elisa walked him through it.
I appreciate that. I really appreciate that, for stepping out, coming out, reaching out, because I do need it because of myself.
It's a sentiment shared by Lori and Elisa.
I'm so appreciative of being in a position and having a job where I can go out to a person's house and say, we are here to help any way we can.
Is your goal to ultimately find them all and bring them back online through the help of these wonderful social workers?
It is very much our goal. We cannot let even one child slip through the cracks. And I know that's a lofty thing to say, but that has to be our goal. We have to make sure that we're reaching out.
And Erica, among the biggest drops in class attendance for all socioeconomic groups are pre-K and kindergartners. Now, some parents that can afford to are putting their kids into pods, teaching them at home, and even sending them to private school. But the majority are among the lower income families that are just not offering them any education at all because perhaps they think that these aren't important years. But as we know, evidence suggests that these are such crucial foundational years for students, which is why it's so important that these social workers are doing what they're doing. And I have to say this because it's that's so frustrating, Erica? There is no federal tracking program. So all of these school districts, all of these states are on their own, and God bless them for all the work they're doing to find these students.
Yeah, and thank God they're doing it as you point out. It's hard enough at those ages without everything else going on. Bianna, thank you. Great reporting as always. New video evidence in the kidnapping